All right, the long-awaited return, JaVon from Stats Over Feelings, a move. A whole lot going on in your life. Had to pause the content. People in your comment section asking for you back. People in my comment section, friends, and even in real life asking, "When are you going to do those pods again?" I'm looking at my friends like, "Well, my video is not good enough for you. You want somebody else?" And today we thought, why not bring it back and get some hot, spicy takes, a quarterback draft battle. I know a lot of people skip the intros, which is cool, but if you skip this intro, you're going to be lost on certain context. We are drafting for a 3 year window. This is not just for next year. This would be drafting if we were to take over a blank slate team with a 3 year window. We're going to go through 32 quarterbacks. I'd say all the starters, but there's some backups that we think are better than starters, and it's different from vice versa. We didn't decide who was going to go first, so I'm going to give you the honors and let you go first here. Who is the QB you are starting with and taking to open up a franchise? I give you the layup.
Well, I mean, it has to be Mahomes. I don't think there's any other quarterback that you would possibly consider drafted at this spot. So, I mean, I feel like that is a layup, honestly. But
I do think Mahomes is the easy layup right now.
yeah,
Absolutely. If one of the next two guys that I think that whether it's Allen Lamar, Lamar Allen, whichever way you look at it, if one of them were to win the Super Bowl this year, do you think they could enter that conversation with Mahomes where it's actually a real debate?
well, I don't. The thing is with Lamar, there's still always going to be questions about Lamar and him choking in the playoffs.
But if he won a Super Bowl, then
Even if
that's gone, right?
even if he does, I think like the way I view it is that his past playoff, experience or his past playoff games wouldn't be enough to catapult him over Mahomes. And Josh Allen, although he does play good in the playoff games and every single playoff game he plays in, I feel like his team structure isn't competitive enough to be able to compete every single year. So in my opinion, I don't think so. I really don't.
No. So Mahomes will be the clear 101 here.
Yeah.
The guy who's won 3 Super Bowls in what's now the last 6 years, was in the last 3 Super Bowls. Uh, yeah, it was a layup that I gave to you. I
Yeah.
gave myself a hard one here. I flip flop every single year. I'm gonna go with Josh Allen. I just
Oh,
watched him win the
okay,
MVP.
okay. Okay,
I
okay.
just watched him win. I just watched him win the MVP. I just watched him win a playoff game versus Lamar Jackson, in which the reason his team won was because he made less mistakes throughout the
Yeah.
game. I know we could talk about the Mark Andrews drops and the fumble, but Lamar had a really bad interception early on in that game. And like you mentioned with Lamar, I have question marks around if he's going to play well in the playoffs. He's great in the regular season, and his play takes a step down. Josh Allen, I'd say he kind of levels up a little bit in the playoffs. There hasn't been many playoff games I've watched for the Bills where they've lost, and I've been like, damn, if only
Yeah.
Josh Allen had played better. There's times where I'm like, if Stephon Diggs caught that ball, if Tyler Bass made that kick, if Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes didn't go down the field in 13 seconds, but it's usually not at the feet of Josh Allen. So I'm going to give Allen his respect after the MVP and after the playoff win as my first quarterback off the board here. Does that mean you're going Lamar 3?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it would be crazy if you let me get Mahomes and Josh Allen. So I'm kind of glad for your little lineup that that wasn't the case because honestly, I feel like I would have won already. But I mean, like you said, for Josh Allen, like when he loses in big games, it's usually not his fault. And for Lamar, you can say he's been outplayed multiple times. Although he is going to be my next pick because, like, I've seen him carry, like, his roster is good now, but he hasn't always had the weapons on offense that a lot of these other quarterbacks have today. And you can argue, like, if Lamar were to switch places with the Chicago Bears, like, they'll be automatic contenders or like 4 or 5 other teams, or like the Detroit Lions, several
Yeah.
other teams, they would be automatic, like Super Bowl favorites, even. So I'm gonna go with Lamar in this spot.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get any pushback from you or the
Yeah.
comment section here, but I think Lamar Jackson at his peak is the best quarterback in football. If I was
Okay.
guaranteed everybody's best game, what Lamar
Oh
can
yeah.
do as a rusher And what we saw from him last year, really the last 2 years as a passer, he now, when he's at his best, is an unstoppable offensive engine all in his own right. And again, we don't know what the baseline for these guys would be around. So Lamar is an excellent choice. I feel like the big three, we kind of all knew where it was going to go. Maybe Allen
Yeah.
and Lamar, some debate, but I think this is probably where everybody's list maybe starts to differentiate. I'm going to kind of stay chalk here. I'm still going to go Joe Burrow at 4. I know that the
Wow.
Bengals haven't made the playoffs the last 2 years, but again, I don't look at that as Joe Burrow's fault. I do have some question marks about injury and bringing Burrow in for a 3 year window, but he's only 28, 29 years old, and he gets a lot of his action from the pocket anyways. So I don't think at 32, his lack of mobility, whatever it may be, will really affect him. But Joe Burrow has the ability to stand in a pocket, give his receivers an extra second, make any throw somebody open. Obviously, we've seen him be successful with Chase and Higgins, which is one of the best wide receiver duos in football. But I truly do believe that Joe Burrow is a special talent. And he's, the only guy we've seen come out of the AFC other than Mahomes in forever. So,
I mean, yeah.
I got a proven ability to at least step up in big playoff games. It might be chalky, but I'm going Joe Burrow. And to you now at number 5, I think there starts to be a real debate to be had
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, most people aren't gonna like this, but I mean, and I have Lamar Jackson, and this quarterback is kind of similar to Lamar Jackson, but I'm gonna take Jaden Daniels, man. Like, I, I just the what I've seen from him this entire season, this past season, and in the playoffs, like I seen him carry a team. Yeah, he has some solid pieces, but like he just reminds me of Lamar so much. And in these
Yep.
next 3 years, it would not surprise me if he won an MVP either. So if we're projecting over the next 3 years, they're building a pretty good roster over there right now. They're trying to focus on the defense and getting some good weapons around him, especially in this draft that just happened. So I'm gonna go with Daniels. I think over the next 3 years, he's gonna project to be a top 5 quarterback for sure.
Yeah, I don't hate that pick. You mentioned him and Lamar play very similar. And the way that I compare it is those two play quarterback the way that I feel like a really high level point guard plays basketball. It feels like the game is a little bit slower for them. They just have this certain calmness in the pocket. They feel like they are watching everything slower than everybody else. Their decision making is excellent. It is the sky is the limit for Jaden Daniels over the next 3 years. So getting a 3 year window and taking Jaden Daniels, I have no problem with it. I'm going to take a pick here at 6. I'm going to get called a homer. It is what it is. 26 years old, coming off of a Super Bowl. I'll take Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
I will take Jalen Hurts. And
Wow.
people will talk about the Eagles roster, and that's fine. Here's what I'll say about Jalen Hurts: 4 seasons in the NFL, 4 winning seasons, 4 playoff appearances, 2 NFC championship wins, 1 Super Bowl win. It doesn't get much better than that as a resume for a quarterback 4 years into their playing career. Jalen does have some things to work on. I would like to see him get better at throwing with anticipation and throwing guys open. But again, at just 26 years old, I think that there is that room for improvement for Jalen Hurts. He is one of the best mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. And yes, it's because of the Eagles' offensive line, but it's also because of Jalen Hurts that the tush push is so effective. And it wasn't banned. So if I get a play that's an automatic
Hey,
3rd and 4th and 1 pickup because I have Jalen Hurts, I'll take it because we saw it wasn't automatic with Josh Allen. So that is a part of his game. People don't have to like it, but if I'm building a team and I get an unstoppable play because I drafted somebody, I'll take it. And again, he is a proven winner. I saw your reaction. How far down your list was Jalen Hurts? How much did I reach?
I had him at 8. No, I had him at 7. I had him at 7. So it's around this spot. I'm
Okay.
just surprised. Like, I mean, who knows if the tush push is going to be here in 3 years? If we're projecting over
I
the
know
next
it's
three
here
years.
next year.
I mean, yeah, that is fact.
I at least
So
get it for one of the three.
yeah, no, I mean that is facts. And when you look at all the starting quarterback or all the 32 best quarterbacks, one from each team right now, there's not too many quarterbacks that have recent success, especially as much as Jalen Hurts. So I mean, if you were to ask like someone who didn't watch football at all, they would think that Jalen Hurts should be higher because of the success he's had in the playoffs the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I do understand that, the general consensus, the popular opinion nowadays by certain creators is that wins isn't a quarterback stat. I just don't buy into it. We talk about Tom
Yeah,
Brady as the greatest quarterback ever. Why? Because he has Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes has won 3 Super Bowls. Why? Because he's so great. You look at the last half decade of Super Bowl winners. It's Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, who would easily be higher on this list if it was a 1 year window, and
yeah,
Jalen Hurts. So at the end of the day, like, you don't have to like it. I'll take the guy that's a proven winner. Um,
yeah.
so we move on to number 7 here. Who is your number 7 pick?
So for this pick, I was going back and forth for a while, but man, like you said, the main thing I tried to focus on is like the trajectory of the team, and I feel like the Chicago Bears are doing everything they can to
Ooh.
surround Caleb Williams with the best weapons and the best offensive line. They've even upgraded their defense. They're drafting amazing too. I feel like the Chicago Bears in the next 3 years are definitely going to be Super Bowl contenders. They may even be as soon as next year. So I'm gonna go with Caleb Williams, man. I feel like he's gonna definitely be a top 10 quarterback.
Hey, I was a big Caleb guy, and
Yeah, I mean he's the number one.
um,
He was a number one pick a couple years ago, man.
and I'm not selling stock. I didn't have him this high on my list. I still personally think that there's 2 guys that I would consensusly take over Caleb right now.
Oh,
And then we
really?
could have
Okay.
argued about specific tiers here. And we're
Yeah,
going to have
yeah,
some mad people in our comment section after my next pick, too, because there's people that are going to be banging their table for one guy to be picked. And I don't know if even you're going to pick him on the comeback. We'll see. We'll talk about it when we get to him.
yeah.
But Caleb Williams, what he's going to do in a Ben Johnson offense with DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, DeAndre Swift, a
Right.
revitalized offensive line. People could say what they want about your pick right now, but if we do this a video again in a year from now, it's possible Caleb goes even higher. Because
But
again, that was the ceiling that we talked about with this guy in the draft. Who was his NFL comp? Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't said lightly. The size, the arm strength, the jump throw that he has, his mobility. I don't hate the pick. I don't love it because of the 2 guys that I
yeah,
think should have been higher, but I don't think you're too bullish on Caleb Williams.
I feel like I might be able to guess your next two, but I want to see. I want to see.
I had Caleb Williams at 13 on my list for
Wow.
reference. I was willing to take some of the vets that are more proven, just
Really?
unbuild. I was. So I'll be interested to
Wow.
see if you're going to be snatching up all the sophomore quarterbacks because Caleb, other than Jaden, is my highest ranked sophomore QB.
Bro, I
Um,
had Caleb at five.
wow. So
Caleb at five,
mine
man.
my next pick, he's number 7 on my list. I'm grabbing him at 8 in this draft. So a win for me. I'm taking CJ Stroud. You tweeted about CJ Stroud today. And the second I saw it, I said, well, I guess I'm getting him in this draft tonight. Because you tweeted, are we sure CJ Stroud's a top 15 quarterback? And I said, absolutely, in my mind. CJ Stroud is still younger than Bo Nix. Let
Yeah.
that one sink in. CJ Stroud, I believe. Who else is still younger than? Oh, this was the stat. If CJ Stroud was 3 years older, he'd still be younger than Justin Herbert.
Damn.
So CJ Stroud is just 23 years old.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud is a young player, and we've already seen him 2 years ago have a rookie season that wasn't quite the playoff success of Jaden Daniels, but regular season wise was pretty close to as successful as Jaden was in Washington. He won an offensive rookie of the year. Then last year, you have injuries to the offensive line. Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell were never healthy at the same time.
Yeah.
And going into the fourth quarter of a playoff game at Arrowhead, his team was only down by 1 to the Chiefs. I will buy all the CJ Stroud stock there is because I think you get him in the
Wow.
right situation. He is going to win a lot of football games and be a very impressive player. And we've seen in the playoffs, he could turn up that run game. He doesn't like to run. You could tell CJ doesn't like to run. He wants to be a pocket passer.
Yeah.
But when the lights shine the brightest, we saw it at Ohio State and we've seen it in Houston. He will run the ball. And I also just think he's a great culture guy. He feels like a
I'm
great leader to me.
I'm shocked, man. I mean, honestly, I like CJ Stroud, but the main reason I'm gonna pick Caleb Williams over CJ Stroud over the next 3 years is because I see what the Bears are doing, and it seems like they're trying to surround Caleb Williams with the most talent right now, and I feel like the Houston Texans are trying to build the best team right now. So that's why, and
Did
there's
you not like the Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel picks? I thought that those were pretty solid.
I feel like they didn't need them, but they were solid. I feel like they could have got maybe a better running back, maybe get someone to shadow Joe Mixon right now. They could have got built up that offensive line. CJ Stroud every year in the playoffs is running for his life. That's
The
usually how he
offensive
loses.
line is my big concern.
Yeah,
They brought in Cam Robinson. They brought in Trent Brown. They drafted Ursary. So we're going to see if they could figure out that offensive line. But
yeah,
trading away Larmy Tunsil after your offensive line was a problem. Definitely had some people scratching their heads at some point. So we're now at number 9. And
yes.
there is a certain internet darling quarterback that has not been picked yet. I'm interested to see if you're taking him right here.
Yeah. So honestly, I was teeter tottering between this quarterback and one and another quarterback that a lot of people love. But I'm gonna take Justin Herbert in this spot right now. And
That was my
although,
next pick.
yeah, I mean, he hasn't in the playoff game that I watched. He definitely was. He definitely wasn't that great, And there's a lot of quarterbacks on here that are coming up that don't have a lot of playoff success. So I feel like at this point, I can't really count it against each quarterback as much. But when it comes to arm talent, I mean, Justin Herbert is up there with Joe Burrow. He's up there with Lamar and Josh Allen and Mahomes. He's up there with pure arm talent. He just hasn't had the best team surrounding him or the coach. And now he has both of those now. So we're going to see this upcoming season.
Yeah, Justin Herbert, if you could build a quarterback in a lab, the size, the strength, he's even somewhat mobile. You just wonder a little bit about the clutch gene, as Skip Bayless would say. Does he
Yeah.
have the ability to perform in the playoffs? His first ever playoff game, he blows a 3-score lead to Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. This past season, he threw more interceptions in a playoff game than he did all season. Again, uh, don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not telling
Yeah.
you that Justin Herbert is going to be a career bust and never be able to get it done in the playoffs. I'm not even telling you that, hey, Chargers fans, you got another Phillip Rivers, all the talent in the world, but won't be able to make it past the divisional rounds. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is when I compare him to a CJ Stroud, to a Jaden Daniels, to a Jalen Hurts, who I view are in the same tier as him, seeing that those guys either stay the same or get better in the playoffs, and Justin Herbert has gotten worse both times, is a crucial deciding factor when we're talking about inches, not miles. Justin Herbert was the guy I was referring to. Seeing him go at 9, there's probably going to be some people that are like, thank goodness. I hate when people overrate him. And there's going to be people that are saying we should have drafted him ahead of Joe Burrow. It's just the facts. Like, that's
Yeah.
going to be what's out there.
It's
I'm picking
crazy.
number 10 here. I think I could wait on this guy, but I'm going to stick true to my list just to make sure that I'm giving an honest reaction to the audience. I'll take Matt Stafford. I know it's a 3-year window. I know it's a 3-year window,
Wow.
but I got Stafford for this year, and I would assume one more. What I could accomplish in those 2 years with Stafford, I truly believe, is hoisting a Lombardi trophy. I've seen it be done. The Rams are legit Super Bowl contenders this year. And when I look at the names below him on my list, I'm not sold on them as Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. So I'm going to take what I perceive to be the last true Super Bowl winning quarterback talent on the board as things currently stand and see where it goes from here. Based on
That's
your
crazy.
reaction, I think I could have gotten Stafford later, but I wanted to just stick true to the list for the viewers.
I'll tell you right now, Stafford was in my bottom 10 over the next 3 years because, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen after this year. And I don't think this season is the season. I mean, I know they got Devontae, they drafted a couple of decent pieces, but I don't know. I had Stafford pretty low because I wasn't expecting him to play at least the third year, maybe
he,
retire after this season.
I do get it. He is certainly very old. And that is, again, the one. Listen, if Stafford was 27, playing the way he's playing, we would have drafted him third or fourth overall. So he
Yeah.
falls to 10 here. I'm willing to take, the hit on age. Based on the way you were talking earlier and the fact that you took Caleb, I kind of knew I could have waited if this was like a true draft competition, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as more of a thought experiment. So at number 10, I'll take Matthew Stafford and go on my way. Number 11, who do you got?
Okay, so for number 11, I'm gonna go with Brock Purdy, and I know it's go over a lot
Some
of other.
respect.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a little bit of respect. I've been a little bit, I've been dogged him in the past. Everyone knows that, but Brock Purdy, he has Super Bowl experience. He has the coach, and I mean, I trust the way the 49ers are going to draft over these next couple of years because their salary cap is starting to get smaller and smaller. So, I mean, I'm going to go with Brock Purdy. I mean, the 49ers are still a good team when they're
And
not injured, at least.
when we talk about the, minimal players that have led their team to a Super Bowl game, Brock Purdy is on that short list in the last half decade of players. Don't get me
He's the
wrong,
last
it's a
one,
lot
right?
of Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Mahomes, but in the NFC, Brock Purdy has gotten there. He's been to NFC championship games. Who knows how the first one goes if Hassan Reddick doesn't blow up his UCL in the first quarter. So, when it comes to that, and the 49ers just paid this man for a reason, you know, I, I thought the contract was fair. We didn't talk about the contract. 53 million a year. I believe that made Purdy the eighth highest paid quarterback at the time of the contract, meaning by the time we're the middle of the way through it or at the end, he'll be outside of the top 10. Like that
Yeah.
felt fair to me, especially considering he's been playing on such a discount for the
Yeah.
past few years.
Yeah.
My number 12 pick here is going to be Packers quarterback Jordan Love. I think
Okay.
of all the remaining QBs left, he has the highest game to game ceiling. And what I mean by that is I think he's a very high variance player. And unfortunately, my biggest gripe with Jordan Love right now is he's almost a lock for a turnover a game. And in the NFL, winning the turnover differential is so crucial. But he also has the best arm of any quarterback left, the ability to make any throw, a good scrambler. And I still feel like we haven't seen him with very high level receiving weapons that can kind of help him enter that real top tier quarterback play. You talked about this earlier, but if Lamar was on the Lions, they'd be Super Bowl favorites. If you gave Jordan Love, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jamison Williams, Jameer Gibbs, and David Montgomery, I'd be hard pressed to say that the Packers wouldn't become Super Bowl favorites. Obviously, they have four wide receiver ones, as they like to call it, with Jaden Reed, Romeo
Or wide
Dobbs.
receiver twos. I heard
Yeah.
that one.
I like the pick of Golden, especially with Christian Watson's injury. They need a deep threat. They'll connect on some this year. I have my question marks about the Packers as we go into this season, particularly with how good the NFC North is. But Jordan Love over the next 3 years, I think, has a shot to have some really, really impressive outings.
Dang. I mean, I don't think he was gonna drop that much lower. If you didn't pick Jordan Love, I was for sure gonna pick him. I feel like that would have been a steal. I mean, I feel like he hasn't had the success that a lot of people expected, being the heir to Aaron Rodgers or what
Yeah.
have you. But the upside is what we're drafting these guys on basically because it's a 3-year projection. So I think that would be a safe pick.
Yeah, he is still a little bit older, but still late 20s. I still
Yeah.
think for 3 years, especially at the QB position, I'd be fine with him. So you're up here at number 13.
Yeah, so I'm looking at how you're drafting right now. I feel like I can go another pick or two, and you still won't pick this quarterback. So I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say JJ McCarthy. Now we haven't
Ooh.
seen JJ McCarthy play a lot at all, but how far can you drop the quarterback with the best wide receiver in football? Like how far could he possibly drop? Justin
I
Jefferson
took
is
Joe Burrow.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, that's your opinion. Either way, it's 1A or 1B in my opinion.
Yeah.
So with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, I think they're gonna have to pay him next after this upcoming season, he'll be eligible to get paid. So he's
Yep.
gonna be there for at least another 2 years. And I mean, I don't know what Dalvin Cook's status is, or no, Aaron
Aaron
Jones,
Jones.
Aaron Jones. I don't know what Aaron Jones' status is going to be over the next couple of years, but they're probably going to draft a running back with the first 3 picks next year. So I think the offense is going to hang around for a while, and I think it's going to be pretty good.
So I'm I'm high on the Vikings this year. I don't know how
Yeah,
much of my content you've seen. I just
yeah.
did a video about 3 teams I'm buying. The Vikings were one of those teams. Their over under for wins is 8.5. They're like plus 300 to win the division. I'm willing to take it all. JJ McCarthy was 21 on my list. We just haven't seen him play. And I gotta call it like I see it. The comment section's gonna say it. I'm gonna say it to you. Taking JJ McCarthy over Drake May and Bo Nix if you're trying to go young is crazy work. In my opinion.
I don't think so.
He's
I
gonna
feel
put
like
up
that
the counting stats.
the
And I
Vikings are
will
more
say this.
established right now. They have the better team out of both of those teams, in my opinion, too.
I do think when you're looking for an honest projection, Vegas is the way to go because Vegas is looking to make money. And JJ McCarthy's over under for touchdowns is 25.5, which I believe is like the 8th highest in football. So they expect him to be loading up the stats. And we saw Sam Darnold have a Pro Bowl level season.
Yeah.
Similar to Caleb Williams. No shot in hell am I making that pick right now, but I very much could buy us coming back to this in a year and being like,
I'm buying stock
look
here.
who was right.
I'm buying stock while it's low, honestly.
So I'm going back to the mid 20s, late 20s quarterback. Well, I'm taking Baker Mayfield, a guy who just had a Pro Bowl season. Baker Mayfield just threw for 40 touchdowns last season, and his team added Emeka Akabuka. And Bucky Irving's going to be the full-time back. That offense is going to be very high-powered for years to come. Baker, former number 1 overall pick, but for the Browns, the second he got out of there, he went to Carolina, possibly the bottom 2 franchises in the NFL, especially over that stretch. The second he finds any stability in Tampa Bay, he starts rattling off Pro Bowl level seasons. They could have won that playoff game last year with Washington, and then based on the way Washington dog walked Detroit, Tampa Bay could have been in the NFC Championship. So if things just changed a little bit there, I'm a big Baker guy. I love the attitude. I love the swagger he plays with. I'm happy to add him to this roster here. I believe that was 14. So you were up here at pick 15. We're almost halfway through this QB draft.
Yeah, so I mean, Baker really was a sleeper pick. And I'm gonna go with a quarterback who I'm pretty sure they'll win now. This is the Detroit Lions quarterback, Jared Goff.
That was my next guy.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at this team, they were so successful. They ran through everybody last year in the regular season. And I know they're going to take a minor step back. I mean, come on now. They're not going to retain the same amount of success, or they're not going to have the same amount of success they just had. But over the next 3 years, I mean, Jared Goff, get him in at what, pick 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'll buy that stock for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's a good spot for Goff. He was the next name up on my list. So, and the new offensive coordinator was their passing game coordinator, I believe. So I don't think that passing is going to change. I wonder without Frank Ragnow, now it's center, how that offense looks. We'll see there. To make sure he doesn't slip out of the first half, I'm taking Patriots quarterback Drake May. And I have heard you, I mean, for those who don't know, there is not a man on this planet that isn't a New England Patriots fan that is higher on the New England Patriots this season than JaVon. I will let him hold his takes or say them if he wants to, but just be aware when the bold predictions video comes out, he will be talking about the New England Patriots.
I mean, 100%. I mean, granted, this is all a projection, but the New England Patriots are like the Walmart version of this year's Chicago Bears, bro. Like, I'm so high on them right now. I'm really high on the Chicago Bears too, because you look at that roster, and any good quarterback should succeed with that roster. And I say the same thing about Drake May. And honestly, I'm gonna keep my hot takes for a later video, but I'm very high on the Patriots this upcoming season for sure.
Yeah, and I'm very high on Drake May's development. You could tell as soon as he got in there for New England, the culture shifted. Those guys were
Yeah,
playing like they could win each and every game. And there were plays that Drake May was continuously making against a top five statistical defense last year, the Tennessee Titans. He scrambles at the end of that game to get that pass to Ramondre Stevenson to tie the game at the end of regulation. That was an insane play. The mobility is there for Drake May, and a year with Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator and a full coaching staff under Mike Vrabel. Diggs is there now. Kyle Williams. You still have guys like Pop Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry. A good offensive core. They draft Travion Henderson, who is lightning in a bottle, but also was, in my opinion, the best pass blocking running back in the
for
draft.
sure.
Drake May is going to have a very, very successful next 3 years. That is the first half. So we are at 17 now. Who
Yeah.
are you taking?
I mean, we're at the point in the draft now. I feel like we're gonna run into a lot of first and second year QBs because my next pick is gonna be Bo Nix.
That was
But
my next pick.
yeah, I feel like at this point we're just gonna be running on. Well, we'll see what your list looks like. I feel like you may sprinkle a veteran in there or two, but I'm gonna go with Bo Nix. I mean, he showed a lot of good flashes. He played good in some primetime games this past season too. And I feel like this team, he's building a good culture. I mean, Sean Payton's doing his thing. It seems like they've really been building more and more trust with each other every single week. So I feel like Bo Nix he's definitely gonna show out this season.
I just watched on YouTube, the NFL is starting to post all these videos, or they are just starting to hit my algorithm, but it was the top 100 throws from last season.
Yeah,
And Bo Nix was like the third most prominent quarterback on that list. And don't get me wrong, I don't think the list was like perfect. I think there were some throws that were just deep throws, but it was to a
yeah,
wide open receiver. But Bo Nix had some crazy great throws. You remember that Bengals game from, I believe, week 17? That touchdown pass that he had at the end of regulation to force overtime, where he's scrambling and gets that ball to Marvin Mims. Oh my goodness. I'm an
that's
Oregon
insane.
fan, and I never thought this is what Bo Nix would look like at the NFL level. And I think that some of that even still stands in my bias, like almost against him, just because I'm still in
Yeah.
disbelief of the way he came into the NFL. And I really wanted Emeka Egbuka to the Broncos to just see what that would have been like.
Yeah,
They got RJ Harvey, and so we'll see what that is. Well, I wish they would have brought in a receiver. I like Cortland Sutton, I like Mims, but I wish they could have gotten another weapon. They brought Evan Ingram in, but I don't know, not anything crazy. My next pick here at pick 18 will be Bryce Young of the Carolina Panthers. I didn't want to go too high on Bryce. I wasn't ready to put him in the Caleb, Drake May, Bo Nix, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield esque
yeah,
tier. But the second half of last season, if Bryce Young could be that for the next 3 years, he'll get a Pro Bowl nod. And
yeah,
with Dave Canales, the quarterback whisperer, the guy who made Geno a Pro Bowl level quarterback, the guy who was there in Tampa when Baker got there and he started playing well, you gave him a season with Bryce Young, and it took a little while. It took being benched for Andy Dalton for a couple weeks, but when Bryce came back, he was balling, and he wasn't just balling against bad teams. He gave the two teams that were in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the Eagles, a run for their money in the span of 3 weeks. Now you add in a Tedero McMillan to this offense, and a sleeper that I've heard at camp is Jimmy Horn has been
yeah.
progressing very well. I think Bryce Young might have a really good season this year, and he might be living up to that number one overall pick hype that he had. I don't think he's going to be better than CJ Stroud, who was picked 2 in that draft,
Yeah,
but I don't think he's going to be worse than Anthony Richardson, who was picked 3 in that draft. So I'll
yeah,
take Bryce Young gladly at 18.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he is a number one overall pick, and like you said, in the second half of last season, he showed why. He was just, I on my list, he was higher, but like the more and more we started to talk, I feel like I just dropped him down lower and lower and lower
Yeah.
because I just don't trust the Panthers to give him the pieces that he needs to be great. And I don't think he's a quarterback that can elevate his team to to be a playoff contending team. I just don't think. I think you he'll make the best out of what you give him, and that's
Yeah,
why I feel like he kept dropping lower and lower for me because I feel like there's a couple more quarterbacks who can make their team a little bit better with less talent.
that's fair. Who do you have here at 19?
So for I'm gonna pick Shador Sanders.
Ooh,
I'm gonna pick Shador Sanders here. I mean, I was going to debate between him or Cam Ward, and I'm gonna go with
I
Shador.
got
But
news for you. You're gonna get them both.
oh, wow, you have Cam Ward so messed up. That's so
I don't
crazy.
have him that much lower. I just have him. I have him two QBs lower.
Wow, that's insane. But yeah, I feel like Shador, he's he's definitely gonna end up playing this year, whether it's gonna be like by week 10 or week 12.
I
He's
don't
gonna
know
get
how
on the
they.
field.
I don't know how they could be honest with themselves and not start on week one.
Well, why would
In,
they draft
in
a
terms of
quarterback in the
talent,
third round? Like, we're just being logical. They
I
have
well,
to.
I think I the should we didn't get to talk about Shador.
Yeah.
I listen. I get it. It's he's some drama and a little cocky. Absolutely fine. Like I get it. Take Jackson Dart over him. Like if that's your decider between those two, fair enough. If you're the Giants, you cannot tell me Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Shuck, who is like 27 years old. He just finished his 7th year of college football. That's not an exaggeration. Tyler Shuck played 7 years of college football, and the Saints thought they were better off with him
It
than
honestly
Shador
makes me mad.
Sanders.
It honestly makes me mad. I don't even know what the Saints were even thinking. And there wasn't that many
And
quarterbacks better than
Pittsburgh, your
Shador.
Steelers took Will Howard.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't take him over Shador, but
Uh,
I just don't think we were going to draft him at all. But
yeah,
Shador, but if the Browns would be honest, are going to be honest with themselves, Shador Sanders is their future. I mean, they would not be smart to play anybody else. But we're going to see what happens over the next 3 years. Though, I'm definitely taking Shador,
the
especially
reason
since they still got weapons over there.
the reason Shador was low on my list was because I can't be confident that he's going to play because I watched the entire NFL skip out on him for no apparent reason. I mean, not no
Yeah,
reason, but they were just lying to themselves during the draft. So I don't know why they wouldn't just lie to themselves now.
yeah.
Um, at 20 here, I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence. I still believe in the talent of Trevor Lawrence. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm taking him at 20. It's not like I took him at 10. Um,
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence does have one of the strongest arms in the NFL. I think people forget about that. He was a Caleb Williams hype prospect before Caleb Williams. He didn't live up to it, but he had Urban Meyer. And then I guess things got rocky with Doug Peterson there. I don't fully blame Doug Peterson for some of the Jaguars woes last year. I think Trevor Lawrence definitely deserves some of the responsibility for that. He also was a little hurt, so maybe the record could have been a little bit better. But man, if you can't succeed with Liam Cohen, Brian Thomas Jr., and Travis Hunter, like I don't know what to say at this point. And this is the make or break year for Trevor Lawrence. I still believe in him. I don't know to what level I still believe in him. I think he could still be a top 16 quarterback in football, an upper half guy. So drafting him at 20 while he's still young as well, because he was drafted early. He's still 25
yeah.
years old. So he's younger than Jalen Hurts. He's younger than Justin Herbert. I think he's only 1 year older than Jaden Daniels. So, like, in terms of time frame there, Trevor's still young, still time to develop. We'll see if it happens, but he's already got one playoff win under his belt, so that's something. At 20, we're
I
taking shots
guess.
in the dark, and in terms of who's left, you could maybe argue Cam Ward has a higher ceiling, but other than him, I don't see anybody else on this list that's even in a conversation for ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why Trevor was so low for me is because like I'd rather just take a raw prospect who I haven't seen play over what I've seen from Trevor the last couple
Yeah,
of years. I just
that's fair.
rather, yeah, like then that's just the God honest truth. But I mean, Trevor, the upside is still always going to be there. He does have. If you have an arm in this league, you're always going to have a spot.
Trevor and Cam were right next to each other for me, and I think I'll just always have a soft spot for Trevor Lawrence because I thought he was
Yeah,
going to be a top like 5 quarterback in football when he first came out.
yeah,
Like I have never been higher on a prospect at the quarterback position.
Wow.
In
Dang.
which, to be fair, like, is not a huge window. It's not like, I was 13
Okay.
years old deep diving in like the analysis of quarterbacks, and I'm 25 now, but probably over the last like 7, 8 years, I don't think I was any higher on a QB prospect than I was Trevor Lawrence. So I still believe in him.
That's crazy. My highest quarterback prospect that I ever like had was Cam Newton, and he ended up taking the Panthers to a Super Bowl. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, my next pick was going to be Dak Prescott. Now, I mean,
You
Cam
didn't take
Ward.
Cam Ward.
Nah, not yet, because I know you're not gonna pick him. Why would I pick him? But so I'm gonna take Dak Prescott. They still got Michael Parsons. I know the salary cap issue is a little bit wacky over there, but I feel like the Cowboys are always gonna be decently competitive. I mean, Dak has had a couple of injuries the last few years, but it's just the weapons he has, especially this year. It seems like they're really going all in this year, and we're
All in
gonna
on the passing game too.
yeah. So we're gonna see what happens, man. But they have superstar pieces on the offensive side of the ball. So we'll see. And I don't think there's that many superstars left on any of the quarterbacks left teams. So
So I had Dak coming up on my list. The one major concern I have for Dak is he's coming up of another major
yeah,
leg ankle injury. Um, and he was seemingly looking to avoid running at all costs before this injury. So I kind of wonder if now he is going to be pretty much locked down in the pocket. And if so, Dak is a pocket quarterback. I've seen him not be able to win in the big games when he wasn't that. So,
that's why they got him
uh,
some more help. So
yeah.
they got some help over there.
So I think you misunderstood me, which is playing to my benefit here, because I am taking Cam Ward here.
Okay.
When
I
I
mean,
said that he was going to make it back to you, I meant because I was picking Trevor over him, not
okay.
because I was going to keep pushing him down. So I'm going to take Cam Ward here. I think he, in moments, I want to stress that, reminds me of Lamar and Jaden Daniels. The way that in college football, the game seemed very slowed down for him, and he is able to play the position at such a calm pace. I don't think he's quite the arm talent of Jaden Daniels. I think he's a better arm talent than Lamar Jackson was as a rookie. And I don't think he's as mobile as either guy, but I think he is shifty in his own way. He's got a really tight spiral, can throw into any window. He a little bit more mistake prone than those guys were coming out
Yeah.
as well. And the situation in Tennessee, I don't love. I like their offensive line. Calvin Ridley's cool. I like that they brought in Xavier Restrepo. Chig is cool. We'll see if they could build something for him in Tennessee. But at pick 22 here, I'll take the number one pick in this draft in Cam Ward.
I'm not gonna lie, the way you described Cam Ward just now, it kind of sounded like you were describing Patrick Mahomes. I'm not gonna lie, because Cam Ward is not as electric as Lamar Jackson or Jaden Daniels either. But
Yeah,
Mahomes, the game does slow down for him, and he does play at his own pace. He's not the fastest quarterback. He's not the most
Cam
mobile
Ward
quarterback.
does have some of that rushing tendency of
Yeah,
Mahomes, where it feels like he's not super fast, but he's always
exactly.
fast enough to get the first down somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how Mahomes does it. It's like everyone else slows down.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I need 6 yards. Well, I'll be real fast for 7.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But for my next pick, I think I'm going to go. Man, this is tough.
Yeah, we are getting into an interesting area of
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
I'm gonna go with Sam Darnold. I'm gonna go
Okay.
with Sam Darnold. I'm gonna go with Sam Darnold. I mean, he's in Seattle now. It's gonna be a little bit of a change up there, but I think he's gonna succeed. I mean, they're kind of hit like a minor rebuild, but I feel like within the next 2 or 3 years, I feel like he'll be okay. I'm gonna take him over the rest of the quarterbacks I have left for sure.
Yeah, of all the quarterbacks left, other
Yeah,
than Rodgers, Sam had the best season that any of them have
yeah,
ever had. So, and he's just coming off of that. How much of that is the Vikings and what they got going on versus
yeah.
Sam? We're going to find out. I'm going to take Kyler Murray with my next pick here. Pick
Okay.
24. Again, similar analysis to what I said about Jordan Love, actually, but way later in the draft. of all the guys remaining in terms of peak game to game, Kyler has some fantastic weeks. That week two versus the Rams that he had, I believe it was four throws that made
Yeah.
that top 100 throws list I was talking about earlier. Like he was absolutely balling that week and looked like a top five quarterback in football.
And it
And
doesn't make sense. He can't put it together, man.
he
I
can't
just
do it
don't
for a
get it.
full season. I don't
I
know
don't
why.
get it.
Marvin Harrison Jr. looks absolutely yoked. So
It's a
you
tight
know,
end now.
it was him, Trey McBride. We'll see what they could do. The defense is a little bit more improved, but at pick 24 here, I'll take Kyler. We'll see. I think there's two fan bases that even still at this point are punching air as
Yeah.
we talk about these games.
Oh, 100%. We're gonna hear about those later in a couple of minutes for sure. But my next pick is gonna be Michael Penix Jr.
I think that was
Um,
one of the fan because
yeah,
we picked all them sophomore quarterbacks and then we were
yeah.
like Kyler,
I
Sam
mean,
Darnold.
much like a lot of the other quarterbacks, we haven't seen enough. And honestly, like the games he played, he did make some amazing throws. But what was he like 1-3? He only won one game.
One and two with three
Oh, 1-2.
touchdowns, three interceptions, less than a
Yeah,
60% completion percentage. I talked about the Falcons in a video. I'm selling stock on them. The amount of people that bought so heavily into Penix because of that Commanders shootout game
yeah.
was too much for me.
I mean, the only thing that he has going for me, and he has the weapons already there. So I mean, he just, I mean, when you think about it, for a rookie quarterback last year, he was in one of the better situations, man. I mean, you have Bijan, who was, in my opinion, a top five running back. You got Drake
You,
London.
I
London.
believe this was you. You thought the Falcons could be the number one seed in the NFC last year with that roster.
I did. I mean, little. I had no idea the pass rush was going to be that non-existent either.
Yeah, nobody knew
So,
Matthew Judon was retiring in Atlanta.
I mean, yeah. So, but that's my next pick, and we're getting down to the wire here, bro.
Yeah,
So,
so I'm gonna take the other fan base that's punching air. I'll take Geno Smith here. Geno Smith goes to the Raiders. I think the Raiders will have a fine year in that AFC West. I don't know what the ceiling is for them. He's in a division with Mahomes, Herbert, and Knicks, who we all already took. There are Geno Smith defenders out there that have him as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I've seen him ranked above Jalen Hurts on lists, and I'm just like, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
what?
That's enough NFL talk for the day. I like Geno.
Yapping.
I think he's got some high highs. I think in his big spots, he makes some unbelievable plays. He's more mobile than given credit for and does have a strong arm, but I don't think it's consistent. And this is a guy who, over the last 3 years, had DK Metcalf, JSN, and Tyler Lockett and wasn't really doing all that much with them. I
Yeah.
get it, their offensive line wasn't great, but you got to win games. Like if I had put any of the elite quarterbacks in that situation, we would have talked about that team as Super Bowl contenders. So Geno wasn't
Yeah.
even making the playoffs. So I'm not going to buy into Geno too heavy, but I'll take him here at what 26.
Yeah, I mean, you basically said it all for me. Gino, he's a little bit older than he did just get a new contract, but he's a little bit older. And honestly, it was between I had Gino a lot higher, but like I said, the more I talk, I feel like I'm changing my list around in my head. It was really between him and Darnold when on
Mhm.
my list when I was making it at the time. But Darnold is like 3 years younger, and I feel like he just came off a way better season, so that's why I picked him. But my next pick, I'm gonna go with Justin Fields, and over the next 3 years, I just feel like out of the last quarterbacks left, his ability to keep a starting quarterback job is more higher than the other quarterbacks. I don't see any of the other quarterbacks being starters in the next 3 years. If I'm being honest with you, they're going to be
Uh,
retired. They're going to
well,
be
okay, retired maybe.
retired, or they're not going to be starting. So that's just my opinion. We'll
Justin
see.
Fields has the
Yeah,
mobility for sure. Would love to see him put it together for the Jets. I'm gonna do it. I'll pull the trigger. I'll take Tua. For me, he falls so low because of health concerns. I
I
just
was not going to pick him.
I just have no idea when he's going to play and how long he's going to stay out there. But after we pick Tua here, there's four quarterbacks left. So I feel like I'm done hating. I'll take the guy who I at least have seen throw for 3,500 yards recently.
Hey,
And he did score 70 points with an offense 2 years ago. So
yeah.
again, I don't believe in Tua. I'm not a big Tua guy, but with what we got left on the board, two guys for me that have never played, one guy that's 41 and another guy that's about to lose his starting job to Daniel Jones.
We don't know
I'll take
that.
Tua at this point.
And just because you said that, I'm picking AR. I'm picking AR. He's the next pick. The upside there. I mean, this is his lab. This is his make it or break it year, and it may not even be a year. It may be like a make it or break it 6 weeks,
Yeah,
5 weeks.
I'm giving it a make it or break it September for him.
Yeah, I feel like his they're not giving him a long leash at all this year. I mean, that interview when he said I was tired, so I had to get subbed out. I think he has a shoulder injury right now. Is it a shoulder? I think he,
Yeah,
he's he's been
the same
missing.
shoulder that has been hurt.
Yeah, man. So I mean, the upside is there. He is a one hell of a prospect, but you're not a prospect anymore, buddy. You got to earn it. You got to earn your
Yeah,
job now. And if you're losing your job to Daniel Jones, I don't think you can bounce back from that. It would just be. I mean, there'll be somebody out there who'll take a shot as a backup, but if you're losing a
there's
job to Daniel Jones, you're not going to be a starting quarterback for a while.
there is a real shot he goes down as one of the biggest busts ever.
And the thing is, he was such a reach. That's the
Yeah.
saddest thing.
Well,
He
so
should
you
have been a
drafted
third
him
round pick.
solely based on his athleticism, and you thought Shane Steichen could form him. And is it Steichen? Is it Richardson? Maybe time will one day tell.
Yeah.
Um, three quarterbacks left. Pick 30 here. I guess I'll take Jackson Dart. I think he's got the best size of any QB left, the strongest arm of any QB left. I really question his IQ and decision making. There was a game versus Florida this past year where I dead ass watched Jackson Dart in four straight throws throw four straight interceptions at the end of a close game, and there was only three interceptions in the stat sheet because one of them got called back for a penalty that didn't affect the play and was nowhere near it. He was like gifted another opportunity and then immediately threw a pick. It was some of the worst quarterbacking I'd ever seen. Uh,
Wow.
but but Brian Dayball, Malik Neighbors.
I
I
see the
mean,
vision,
we're down here at pick 30. Like, there's two guys left. One's 41, and one played in college football for 7 years. So I'll take Dart.
and I'm I'm picking Rodgers, bro. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't have it in me to pick Tyler Shuck over Aaron Rodgers over the next 3 years, bro. I just don't got it in me. Plus, I'm a Steelers fan, but
Yeah.
that's not even the point. Like Tyler Shuck shouldn't have even been drafted. He's what 27 years old. Like
So Rogers, you're only going to get 1 year of play from him. Tyler Shuck, I don't even know if I'm going to get 1 year of play.
not
Um,
only is he injury prone, he's 27. I mean, I just feel like
there
he
is
would have
so
been
many
drafted.
backup quarterbacks that I would take over Tyler Shuck. And I'm just gonna like people are gonna think that I'm lying here. I would take Kirk
Oh
Cousins, who's
no,
a free agent. I would take Tanner McKee. I would take
Jameis.
I would take Marcus Mariota. I would take let's see here. Uh I would take Joe Milton. I would take Mac Jones. I would take Jalen Milrow pretty easily. I'd take Dylan Gabriel. Like if
I'm not
we
even.
were just ranking all quarterbacks, Tyler Shuck like would be 40. So I guess I'll take him here at 32 because
I'm
we're
not
taking
even joking.
starters.
I'm not even joking. Me personally, I wouldn't take Shaq. Oh, Tyler Shuck, bro, he wouldn't even be the backup quarterback on like 20 other teams. Like he would be more in the 50s for me. Like,
I mean, that was just like straight, not even looking at names. I was just
yeah,
looking at the quarterbacks we did draft and going off their backups from memory, dude.
yeah.
Like, where's Tyrod Taylor? I'm taking Tyrod Taylor over Tyler Shuck as well. I don't know where
For
he is
sure.
right now.
He's
I
probably
would
not
take
even
him.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Tyler
Is he on the
Huntley.
team?
So where's Tyler Huntley? Tyler
Yeah.
Huntley, I'll take him. Um,
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't even know. I mean, the freaking Giants over there. I'll take Dart.
Russ.
Yeah, I'll take
I take
Russ.
Russ. I take Winston. Jameis Winston. I'd take Jameis.
Who's the backup for the team who had the number one overall pick? I don't even know who the Titans
Will
backup is.
Levis. Will
Okay.
Levis. I'd
Oh,
take Will Levis over Shuck.
I don't know about
Dude, at least Will
that.
Levis got an arm, and
That's
he's
close.
young. Like
That's pretty
I'd at
close.
least give that a try.
Yeah. Whew.
Man,
That's pretty
what
close. But
what fan base do you think we pissed off the most besides the Saints? Right then and there.
oh, bro, that's
The Geno
Cowboys.
Smith, the
Cowboys.
Geno Smith believers, I think, are mad. The Cowboys are mad for sure. Penix fans are mad.
But in our defense, it's kind of easy to piss off Cowboys fans. You
I think
know.
you made Niner fans like really happy. You made
Yeah.
Caleb Williams haters pissed.
Dude, to be honest, if I was a Dolphins fan, I'm like, you got Tua fucked up. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're
If I was a
definitely
Dolphins fan.
pissed. But hey, first pod back,
Yes,
almost
sir.
cracked an hour. We will be here every Wednesday now. There might be some times in between where there's vacation or something, but certainly throughout the NFL season, we're, anybody that made it this far in the video, peeling back the curtain. We got plans to do players and teams that we're buying and selling stock in. We're obviously going to do AFC and NFC and NFL predictions as we get closer to the
Yeah.
season. But any ideas that you guys got for summer pods, drop them down below. And then Wednesday, when the NFL season's rolling, whatever's happening, we'll be talking about. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. JaVon, welcome back to the channel. Got to get you back there making your own content. Let you go watch the NBA finals now. I'll go check them out myself. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Yes, sir.